Now making his way to the NFA cage, Charles Hackman.
Charles Hackman has done something none of us have done. Fought Kimbo Slice. Yes. And he's coming out flanked by Marine Corps.
Yeah, Charles is, I think he's 4-6, but a lot of those are like, so 4-5. He's 4-5, but a lot of those were against guys he probably shouldn't have fought. He wasn't really smart with his earlier career. He'll tell you that. He didn't have somebody telling him no, and you know, fighters don't know how to say no. So.
Yeah, back whenever he was training in his youth, there really wasn't much of systems or managers unless you were at the top level there. Probably just took every fight you could, and then sanctioning came on, and if you're not afraid of a fight and it's not set up right, it could put you behind a little bit. But he did take some time off, and he just had a boxing win, so he's building some momentum to come back. He's not just coming here off the couch. He just competed. He's coming back to this right now to take on what will be a guy that is 44 years old and looking to retire after this fight. So he's going to try and send him off on a sour note.
Yeah. No, like I said, I think this is a great matchup for both men, as I try to do. But his catch wrestling's strong. I don't know if he's going to try to use that here for obvious reasons with Watson's background. Might try to use some of his boxing.
We'll see his opponent now.
Ladies and gentlemen, both of these gentlemen here are Marines, and welcoming them is the United States Marine Corps Honor Guard. His opponent now making his way to the cage, Enrique Watson.
Another Marine.
Yep.
Marine Corps making this fight possible.
A legitimate black belt. I'm not gonna lie to you boys. This is the matchup I'm most excited about, and that's no disrespect to anybody else.
No, we've had a great night of fights, and it just means this one's gonna be great too.
It's a really good matchup, and I know Enrique a little bit, not very well. I just talked to him maybe about a month ago at a jiu-jitsu tournament. The one fight he was trying to kind of go out on a high note, he got a really bad cut, and the fight was stopped because of a cut. And he's like, that's not really a way I want to go out, because I thought it was going to go better than that, and I liked the matchup I had, and so he wanted to do one more. Here we are now. He's got a guy that's had a long layoff coming in. If we're looking at ground game, he's definitely got the advantage there. Yeah. He's an experienced black belt. He's competed in a lot of local tournaments. He's got a lot of students, and his background is tough. Like whenever he had students here in Fort Leonard Wood area at his gym, CX BJJ out there, they were tough. If he's brought that mindset over to South Carolina and they're training with him, he's going to be ready for it all here.
Yeah, both men are grinders too. But yeah, Adam Seller, obviously Adam Seller's in his corner. Adam Seller reached out to me, told me, he did want to fight. And then I said, well, Charles is wanting to fight, and it makes sense. They're around the same age, around the same records. I think it's a good one for them both to maybe even go out on,
We'll see what happens here. Kicking off the main card with two veterans for the packed house at the Armory in St. Louis, Missouri.
Legit veterans.
Well, and while you want to think Hackman wants to keep it standing and Enrique want to take it down, I would not be surprised to see Enrique try and do some distance and try and stand up. I would not be surprised. He feels very comfortable there.
Like we saw, if Charles gets hurt, maybe going back to that wrestling.
Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting. This is why I'm excited. It's a very interesting matchup.
Yep. Let's kick it off.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the NF18 feature bout of the night, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in an NFA catchweight of 215 pounds. Brought to you tonight by the United States Marine Corps. And now, introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This striker stands 5'11", weighing in 212.1 pounds. He holds a professional record, 4 wins, 5 defeats, with 2 wins coming by way of knockout and 2 by way of submission. Representing Haas MMA, fighting out of St. Louis, Missouri, Hacksaw Charles Hackman. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, is a mixed martial artist standing 5'9", weighing in 212.4 pounds. He holds a professional record, 6 wins, 2 defeats, with 3 wins coming by way of knockout and 3 by way of submission. representing CXBJJ, fighting out of Swansboro, North Carolina, Enrique Watson. Your referee in charge of the action, the Dwayne Best.
All right, gentlemen, we discussed everything in the locker room. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands. You have any questions? Text the clothes if you want to. Let's get it.
I will say, Charles looks calm, composed, and he looks in shape.
Well, he's been actually in the gym. You know, he's been training for a little while. Both these men got big fight experience too, so this should be good. Neither one should be rattled.
Heck of a way to kick off the main card. First of 3.
That's the problem with the boxer style right there. Yeah, he needs to adjust that to MMA. Guard pull there.
It almost looked like he wanted to try and catch a double leg coming off of that, but he ran out of room. Just kind of really weird space back into the cage there.
So Charles probably needs to throw some elbows.
He's got a lockdown on that leg.
Yeah, I see that, yeah. He's going to go for a leg lock, looks like.
It's a good way to bump, move.
Nice. Charles doing a good job defending. Now he's in trouble.
I paused earlier whenever he was in dominant position thinking, almost want to back off.
Yeah.
If you're there to not end up like this.
Yeah, if I was Dave Greenlee, who's in Charles's corner, I probably would have said stand up and back off, yeah.
Well, and that's where the grappling acumen comes in, because he was in a bad position, and he stayed calm, composed, and he found a way out of it. Now, this is where Charles is still fresh, and he can buck and be very explosive here for a bit, and if you give up too much space, he can create space to get out. So what he's doing, he's keeping heavy, low and slow, he's cooking him. And that's what you want to do. You want to take a little bit of the piss out of him, because this is where those bigger scrambles can happen.
And that's smart to do, because like you said, Charles is a strong guy, too.
Very strong.
So relatively dry, too.
But his head is off the mat now. See how he's wrapped him and got him up? If your head is off the mat like that, you're not very strong, because you can't really bridge. Well, so what Enrique can do here, he's just trying to smother him. But I would start looking for some shots to that body with that right hand. But he's controlling the hip.
He's going to look like he's going to try to walk north.
Probably got him, Sella.
Yeah, he's going to try to submit from, nope.
That is a tough submission to hit.
Yeah.
But it made him smother it. A lot of pressure. And you can see the difference in the experienced pros compared to some of the amateurs at the pace. And age is a factor. These guys know when to, they know when to manage their energy.
And for our fans at home, this is the pro part of our card, so elbows are legal and knees to the head are legal on standing opponents. Still can't knee to the head on a grounded guy. Nice elbows there. Like Jordan said, he's just kind of slowly cooking them, and
you don't got to get in a hurry. You really don't. I mean, that's where you'll make a mistake.
Well, and pro rounds are 5 minutes too, so you have the time to do this. It's not just a 3-minute sprint. This is where Charles being, that's fine. This is where Charles being strong may actually be helping him. It's hard to lock those arms down.
Charles breathing heavy right now. And that's just the weight and the pressure.
Well, he has a black belt on top of him for almost 5 minutes. So.
That'll do it.
Yeah. There could be some panic in there, honestly, even though he's got that big game.
He's doing a good job not panicking and kicking and trying to buck a lot, because honestly, that's probably what Enrique wants, because as soon as he knows he's really tired, that's when you can really start cooking him a bit. But we're to the point now where we're down to a minute, and Enrique's been in this dominant position. He's got to look to damage or finish here soon.
I was curious if you thought maybe, as our referees very intently watching, if he would step in.
So
if there's not movement.
Well, I saw
Watson
talking to him, so he might be warning him. He might be saying, I'm setting something, I don't know,
Seen him do it for less.
There we go. He's advancing his position. So it's hard to stand it up.
You hear Enrique's corners shouting elbows too.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's hitting with those forearm smashes. It looks like he might have busted him open. Yeah, it looks like he might have busted his forehead open, which that's not a terrible spot.
See, the issue is if he would have done that about 20 seconds earlier, he might have been
Probably
able to finish.
might have finished it, yeah, because Best got in there pretty close.
Measured first round is how I would describe that.
Yeah.
Veterans, as you guys mentioned. Daybreak, break in the action, NFA 18, presented by Kind Goods. First of 3 on the main card. Again, this one's brought to you by the United States Marine Corps.
But I will say he has, even though there toward the end he could have opened up a little bit more, he dominated position.
Yes.
And all that weight was on Charles's arms. So his arms are going to be heavier coming out. So he's going to be a little bit slower because his great equalizer is that left hook from what I've heard. And he hits hard.
Yeah, he has
So
power. Yeah.
if he's now a little bit more labored, it might be easier to get inside of that quicker.
Well, you got to think Hackman's corner might want a little more energy coming out of the gate.
Well, you got to be careful because what happened last time is he kind of bum rushed him over and got himself in a bad position. I think Hackman needs to be cautious, try to work his striking, not get close enough to get taken down, in my opinion.
The thing Hackman did do to his service last round was he didn't freak out in that bad position.
No.
He stayed calm. A
That's-
lot of guys freak out and they burn so much of their energy.
Didn't know he had that kick.
I would elbow there. Hackman should be elbowing there. There he goes. There he goes. Yes.
Certainly open, and Watson is completely selling out on that.
And
takedown.
those are going to add up. Yeah, he just went limp.
He's out.
He's out.
Hackman
Wins by knockout.
A tough knockout.
You can't, yeah.
Fight.
If Watson wasn't out, he should not have went limp there because the ref's not going to know what you're face down.
Fight ends the way it began, measured.
Good showmanship. I like to see that.
Absolutely.
From 2 veterans of the game.
A finish to kick off the main card.
Kind of a lackluster first round, but the second round was pretty go.
You get a finish with elbows. I don't know what else you want.
Yeah.
Charles calmly waited out the dangerous position, and he found the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, hats off to him. He earned it.
Yep. And honestly, experience is what did that. 'Cause like you said, he stayed calm. If he would have panicked probably the first round, Enrique probably could have finished him.
Yep.
So that's the start of our pro card. Nice little ground display. Charles had, like I said, he has catch wrestling, so that probably helped him on the top part. But
I enjoyed that fight and how those guys had to approach it. I mean,
well, yeah, for us, like I enjoyed that first round too. I didn't think it was that that bad. I just know from a crowd's point of view, a lot of times you get tired when people are just kind of laying there. But like we see the little, like the movements Watson was doing to get to those positions. All right, let's go get the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Dwayne Best calls a stop to this fight. 1 minute, 33 seconds into the second round, declaring a winner by knockout, Hacksaw Charles Hackman.